Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here from CubeKing77.com. It's almost that time when manufacturers start to release their new flagship devices, usually around March. I want to get this video out a little bit earlier. I've been under the weather, so I finally am feeling a little bit better so I can get around to it now. Anyways, before I talk about the S6 and the M9, I wanted to let you know that Dan is giving away some Audio-Technica headphones over on my website. They're really awesome, so check them out. Check out his review as well. He did a good job reviewing them. So if you want to win a pair of headphones, you got a week to do so. You can go ahead and enter. I'll link to it in the description of the video below. But anyways, let's talk about the S6 and the M9 now. There's been a lot of stuff going around the internet, leaks, so many rumors, so much different stuff. I want to kind of put it all together and put it into perspective for you because there's just been so much. Now, in my opinion, there are three things these two manufacturers, Samsung and HTC, need to focus on. Number one being the design of the phone. It's about that time for a revamped design of their flagship devices. Now also I think it's very important for them to focus on camera, especially HTC. They went with their ultra pixels in the past, and I think it's about time they changed it and went with some kind of better camera hardware. And then third on the list would be software. This is a huge one, in my opinion, especially for Samsung, with TouchWiz, and then you got Sense as well with HTC. Now I first want to take a look at the M8 and the Nexus 9, which are both manufactured by HTC. Now when you look at the M8, you see the speakers on the outside are very more prominent, they're obvious, and they take up a lot of space. And then you take a look at the Nexus 9 and you'll see the speakers are definitely more sleek. I definitely like the look of the speakers on the Nexus 9 a lot more than the M8s. So what I'm hoping is that they go with the Nexus 9 speakers in the M9. Now I know EV Leaks on Twitter is usually pretty trusted, tweeted out a picture of the M9 using the Nexus 9 speakers along with other renders as well, showing off the Nexus 9 speakers on the M9. And it looks great. I know a lot of people are excited for it. However, there has been some more substantial leaks pointing towards using the M8 style speakers. Now I say it's a little more substantial just because it showed up on a website for sale with those images, a lot of rendered images. I forgot who it was, someone from Germany just tweeted out high resolution images that I'm showing next to me right now. Which kind of makes me lead to believe that this is the actual design that HTC is going to go with, and it's kind of upsetting, honestly, if they do decide to go with this. Again, this is in no way final or anything like that, but if they actually do decide to go with it, shame on HTC. They really need to update the design. The M7 and the M8 both had about this very similar design, not the same, but they definitely need to go with a more sleek design. Like I said, if they just included those Nexus 9 speakers, it would have made it look 100 times better. Now to give you an idea of how similar this leaked image is of the M9 compared to the M8, here's just a GIF that someone threw together, just kind of comparing the two, and you'll see not too much of a difference, which is a little unfortunate. Like I said, not official though, so hopefully we'll see maybe a bombshell from HTC with a completely new redesign. Now let's switch over to the S6, talk about the design of the S6, and then eventually go ahead and go into specs and other things. Now it's definitely looking like Samsung's going to go with a metal unibody design, so that's pretty substantial. Looks like they're going to go with the metal, a more premium feel, more premium look to it. Some people like it, some people don't. It's obviously a matter of personal preference. And then it's also looking like they're for sure going to come out with an Edge design of the S6. So like the Note 4 with the Note 4 and the Note 4 Edge, looks like they're going to probably come out with an S6 and maybe an S6 Edge. I mean, they're definitely going to have an S6 Edge just because an official image was posted by various carriers called 6 Appeal, and I'll talk about this in a little bit, but you'll see it next to me, which confirms the Edge for sure. Now with the S6, case companies have actually been leaking images of, I guess, the front of it, and I guess something about the design, etc. It's funny, one of the case companies had an iPhone status bar on the alleged S6, so that's kind of goofy. I don't know why people do that. But these also show front buttons, and it shows the front buttons are most likely going to be very similar with the back, probably recent running apps, and then the home button as well. Now there were some renders with the all-metal design, but nothing very substantial with any of the renders. But let's get back to that 6 Appeal video that T-Mobile, AT&T, and Sprint all tweeted with their various colors, the yellow, purple, and blue. I don't think Verizon tweeted it yet. They might. But anyways, this image actually confirms three things. Like I said earlier, it confirms it's going to have an edge to it. You can see it easily within the image. It's going to also confirm that there's a home button. You can see it down there, and it also confirms the power button's going to be on the side, and the volume buttons are most likely going to be on the other side. So, I mean, I'm really glad they stuck with the power button on the side and not the top. I hate having the power button on the top of any device. That's enough about the design of the two and the leaked images, etc. Let's talk about the next two things. I was talking about camera, software, and then I also want to touch on specs. Now when it comes to display, it looks like the M9 is probably going to have a 5-inch display, and then the S6 is probably going to have around a 5.2-inch display. Not set in stone with either of those. Of course, none of this is all set in stone, but it's kind of what it's expected. But the M9 is most likely going to have a 1080p display, which is interesting, whereas the S6 is most likely going to have a 1440p display. So it looks like HTC stuck with the FHD, and then Samsung is going with QHD. Interesting, some people like having the extra screen resolution, especially because it kind of future-proofs it, but it also is a little bit more of a drain on the battery, etc. Now when it comes to processor, it looks like HTC is going to go with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 810, and then you got Samsung kind of ditching Qualcomm, it looks like, and going with their own Exynos processors. Now when it comes to camera, like I said, it looks like they're both going to come with about 20 megapixel cameras. I think what they both need to focus on is probably low light situations without a flash, and also a lot of manual tweaks within their software. I think those are the two main things they should focus on, and just overall picture quality, especially HTC. Their cameras haven't been really that great in the past. Hopefully they improve upon that with the M9. And then when it comes to battery life, it's looking like the S6 is going to have a 2600 milliamp hour battery. That's pretty substantial. And then the HTC might have around a 2900 milliamp hour battery. My guess is both of them are going to be embedded. Just going to be how it is. And hopefully both of them are going to come with a micro SD card. I think the Samsung one will for sure. And I'm really hoping HTC will as well. Now finally, software. This needs to be fixed on both devices. If you watched my Lollipop review video on both the S5 and the M8, I have one on both of them if you want to check them out. I'll link to them. It needs work. Lollipop needs work. And with HTC, you'll see it didn't really change very much about the overall software. That's because they kept with Sense 6. They're going to release Sense 7, it's likely believed, with the M9, and they really need to kill it with this software. I think that could be something that sets them apart from Samsung. However, Samsung is reportedly most likely going to have a more slimmer operating system with TouchWiz. They're going to probably de-bloat it a lot, and hopefully it'll make it faster because you can get kind of lag with TouchWiz. However, it does add a lot of useful features. Some of them are just unnecessary, but we'll see what they do. Both need to really revamp their software. HTC with Sense 7, hopefully, and Samsung with their new TouchWiz UI. But anyways, that's it. You'll see an official recap video from me very soon, probably in the next week, just recapping everything. So stay tuned, subscribe to me if you want to see that. I'll be getting both devices, so if you want to see reviews and videos on them as well, just hit that subscribe button. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. All links in the description of the video below. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.